What's up, guys? Matt Briers and Ruben here from Tritac, and today we're bringing a very, very interesting video. At least I think so. We're talking about hammer strikes and frames and the uses it for, again, sport combat and street combat. And then I really want to dive deep into the history of frames and hammers, why we use them, why they're so important, and why I think they're the new and next evolution of modern combat. So, we are dealing with the master of hammers and frames, Ruben.
Sorry. I thought we were going to do a quick intro, then the drill with the hammers, and then the interview.
The fuck the drill with the hammers. We're just going right to the topic. Okay, we'll get there.
Okay, then the next time you say, okay, Ruben, we're going to go direct for the interview.
We're going to go direct for interview.
Okay.
We're going to put this on YouTube as well.
Okay.
So, all right. Seriously though, we're going to show them all cool techniques. Okay. But tell me, where did first frames and hammer strikes come from, and why are they not seen so many other martial arts? So where do they go? I don't want to go in preview the history. You tell me.
Okay, the history behind is a natural instinct, okay, for the human. When you are attacked, the natural instinct is trying to protect your head. So I remember when I was in KFM talking with Justo about this, and it's like, okay, it has lots of sense because you can see human reactions when they are just fighting in the streets and they don't know what to do. Everybody does like, okay, even more when you are on the ground, you try to protect your head as much as you can. Why? If you got hurt in the arm, is a thing. If you hurt or damage your leg, is a thing. But when you are knocked out, there is nothing you can do after. So it has a lot of sense coming in that position for protect yourself when we are in the street, because you have to think always about the surroundings. Okay, from that point.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
So you mentioned KFM. So for those of you guys that don't know what KFM, can you explain a little bit what KFM is and a little bit of the background?
Yeah. KFM was Casey Fighting Method, was a martial art invented by Justo Diegues in the early of 80s in Spain. I am from Spain. I am from Valencia. I live in the same town. So I discovered KFM by mistake in the early of 2000, 2002, 3. And then I was attracted by the simplicity and the sense of all the techniques and the protections and how they combine all the attacks with the body mechanics and everything, you know, so it has a lot of sense.
Cool. And so, going back how did this then evolve to, what used to call Pensador?
Pensador, or thinking man for the USA or English people.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Pensador because you connect your hands with your head and it's like thinking about how to protect. The Pensador gives you the chance to think in the middle of the fight, okay? Maybe people is trying to punch you and you protect yourself. It's like, oh, and you can continue thinking about, even you are overloaded by these attacks, you have the chance to think. When you master the way of protecting yourself, you have this kind of 2-3 seconds that you really need to think about, okay, I'm being attacked. What can I do to go from here to entering in that fight?
And that's I'm glad you said, because that's actually one of the reasons why I found frames in the beginning or back then those shapes, because it gave you this layer of protection that you're able to survive like this onslaught. And then be like, okay, fucker, what next? You know, I'm still in the fight compared to when using other defense like slips or rolls or parries, that you have to be very active but when you use a frame or Pensador, it just felt like I was protected, but also like I was hunting.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. But for me, it's like something more inside the Pensador, the frame, the shapes. It's not only putting your hands on the head, because this is like a height guard, you know, and you can find different holes and everything. Obviously, we are not stupid, you know. I am more than 20 years on the game, so I know that it's not only putting my hands on the head and then receive. Okay, we know about the hole between your elbow and your hip and the body short attack and everything.
Everybody's favorite comment is,
absolutely.
Oh, you're gonna get hit in the body. I'm like, of course, motherfucker. But
this is like when you see people doing like a BJJ technique on the joke, and you say, I can get a baseball bat and I can hit you in the head. Yeah, of course.
Or my favorite one is like the guy who's doing martial arts. Well, let's say you're a martial arts guy in America. It's like, well, I'll just get my gun out.
Yeah.
Like, so you're telling me your reaction to someone knowing martial arts or knowing how to defend themselves pisses you off so much that you need to get a gun and prove to them that like you're gonna kill them as a way of defending yourself. It's just, but that's how people think.
Harrison Ford already covered this part like 40 years ago in Indiana Jones, you know, so we are not gonna enter in that shit. However, it's like, okay, when we protect ourselves, there is more about, okay, physically you can put your hands here, but your hands can travel to some different positions, and then how to close the hole between your elbow and your hip is about your stance, okay? We don't go like for high stance, we go like really low, we try to open the target area for us and doing even quite heavy for the opponent, hitting us, even the head, the ribs, whatever, because we go really, really low. Yeah. This will give you more balance, more stability, and more power in your attacks.
Yeah, guys, the stance is the big thing for us here at Tritac. In fact, we put a fairly long video on the stance because it is a very important detail. And guys, remember, if you are new to this channel, please give us a like, subscribe, throw a comment out there. Even if you want to ask questions or talk shit about body shops and framing, we love those comments. And of course, of course, we also have our Tritac Prime community, our Matrix community, where you can find a link in the description below to access it. So, the topic today is frames and hammers, and we're gonna bring Cole, one of our fighters who's fighting soon, who's been incorporating those frames and hammers. But I would like to first, see, because you were talking interesting about some lines of attack and how it's very similar to punching. And why don't you go through that and the similarities and why someone might use a hammer strike compared to punches?
Okay, one of the things when you consider yourself a martial artist is you have to study and you have to be an open-minded, you know. So if with your punches, we got some different areas, okay? We got this area, the normal punches, we got the hammer fist. We can even talk, but not today, about what we call the reverse hammers. So if you have like jab, cross, hook, over, slap, and upper, why your hammers are only like this? It's like, no, study how to move yourself, how to get these areas like jab, cross, hook, over, slap, and upper. How to get the same lines of attack using your hammers. This is gonna make you even more dangerous because you understand how to move yourself. If you pay attention, it's not only like moving the arms, it's like when you preload and you change, look my head, it's like 1, 2, then you enter, then you go out, then you move. So it's like you are attacking and you are defending and you are moving your head at the same time. So this is quite dangerous when you understand the body mechanics and you can apply no matter punches, hammers, anything in at the same time, you know.
And that's what I think. For me, when first receiving sparring, when I first started sparring with people with hammers, it's like you couldn't figure out where they're coming from. We're used to this all day long. And all of a sudden this shit's coming and this shit's coming and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And that to me is very exciting.
One of the things that the people don't understand, and I always talk about this in my classes, is for me there is no difference between a normal punch and a hammer. When I send a punch, is the punch who is going to impact, and depending the distance, the range with my opponent, this is going to be a hammer or a normal punch. In example, okay, give me a reference. If he is here and we don't move, okay, this is only for showing you the perspective, and I punch in the face, this is a normal punch, but if he come closer and I say, this is going to impact with my hammer. If I am a little bit out, it's going to be a punch, but for me there is no difference between a hammer and a punch. If we talk about mechanics, makes sense what I'm saying? If we talk about mechanics, when I send my hammer, it's like I send my hammer, but if the guy go backwards, I can contact with a simple punch. Even for further videos, we will talk about the tornadoes and how to introduce with the middle line frames and everything, because we don't have only frames for protecting our head, we have middle line frames. Pay attention and stay tuned.
Yeah, that's a very interesting topic we will definitely get into. So, we were talking also about Cole, our fighter. So let's introduce some drills that we're using for him, then might maybe show, and then we'll bring him on, maybe do some little mitt work with him and have some fun.
Absolutely. Okay, we bring for you today two simple combinations, one in attack and another one attack and receiving at the same time, and this is how we use frames and hammers into the sport fight or into the MMA. Okay, we're gonna start with the frame 3, which is very familiar. For sure you have seen some fighters, boxers, and even MMA fighters using that kind of protection. So he's gonna start sending me like a sending hammer, then the sending hammer, and then the hook. Okay, we move a little bit, we move, again, 1, 2, 3. Now one more time. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Move, move, move. Now a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is in attack, okay? This is why he's attacking. But now we are going to introduce in the middle, because you know in the MMA, it's not only the attacking, attacking, attacking. The opponent is not stupid. They train for that. So maybe they are going to send something in the middle. So we are going to introduce now sending, receive, boom, boom, and then direct punch. So it's ascending, receive, descending, and direct punch. We move, so you can see it from the other side. 2, 3, 4. We move, we move, we move, we check again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We move again, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. We move. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we move. Obviously for me, one of the things that I really like from the pad feeding is that we develop our skills at the same time. We are defending, okay? This is very important. He's gonna feel better, he's gonna be more real, the drill is gonna be more real, and you can develop your skill to the max.
Thank you guys for watching this video on frames and hammers. We're gonna dive much deeper into this topic. And a couple things. Cole's fighting on May 9th at Mohegan Sun at Reality Fighting. Give him some love. Throw a comment out there for good luck. And then, guys, if you have any questions, comments, curiosities about what we do, check us out at the link below in our TriTac Prime community, where we answer your questions one-on-one. We have thousands of drills, techniques, sparring videos, and more. Really engaging community that we're excited to get you involved in. So thanks for watching. We enjoy you having here.